God message today for you. You know, sometimes life just hits you in a way you don't expect. 1 minute, everything's calm, and then suddenly it's like the ground just shifts under your feet, and you start wondering, God, where are you in all this? Yeah, I've been there. There were days I honestly couldn't see any way forward. Everything felt heavy, like walking through thick fog. You know, the air almost felt different, quiet, still, like heaven was holding its breath. And I remember thinking, maybe God's forgotten me, but he hadn't. I don't know how to explain it, but something inside just whispered, wait, just wait. And honestly, that's the hardest part, waiting. Waiting when you've cried enough, when you've prayed, and it feels like your words are just bouncing off the ceiling. When you keep checking your phone, hoping for good news, but nothing changes. Yeah, that kind of waiting. But here's the thing, God doesn't move on our schedule. He's not late. He's just working differently than we expect. Sometimes, he's setting up a miracle so big that if he showed you right now, you wouldn't even believe it. Like, think about the stories in the Bible. Every miracle started with a moment that looked impossible. Moses standing in front of the Red Sea, no way out. Daniel surrounded by lions. Lazarus already dead and gone for days. And yet, boom, right there, in the darkest moments, God showed up. Not too soon, not too late, just right on time. And you know, I've realized something lately. Sometimes the silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. Sometimes God's not yet means I'm working on something better. There was this one night, I remember it so clearly. I was sitting on my bed, staring at the wall. Everything was quiet except for the ceiling fan clicking above me. That sound, click, 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 it almost became a rhythm to my thoughts. I just whispered, God, I can't do this anymore. And I don't know what happened next, but this warmth, this peace just settled in my chest. Like someone gently put a hand on my shoulder and said, you're gonna be okay. That moment didn't fix everything, but it changed me. Sometimes the miracle starts there, not outside, but inside. Before your circumstances change, God changes your heart. And maybe that's what he's doing for you right now. Maybe he's stretching your faith, teaching you to trust when you can't trace his hand. Maybe the reason you're still waiting is because the blessing he's preparing, it's bigger than you imagined. You might not see it yet, but something's moving behind the scenes. Heaven's aligning. It might not come how you expect. It might not look like what you pictured. But when it comes, you'll know. You'll feel it in your bones that only God could have done that. You'll look back and realize every delay, every disappointment was part of the setup, not the setback. Because, see, God never wastes pain. Never. Every hurt, every waiting season, it's growing something holy inside you. And when your miracle finally comes into it, well, you'll see that it wasn't random. It was divine timing. You know, I once heard someone say, miracles aren't about logic, they're about faith. And maybe that's true. Maybe right now, all God needs from you is faith the size of a mustard seed. Just enough to say, I still believe. Even if your voice shakes, even if you're tired, just say it, I still believe. Because the moment you do, heaven starts to move. Angels start aligning things. Doors you thought were locked forever suddenly open. You'll get that call, that breakthrough, that healing, that unexpected turn where you'll just stop and whisper, wow, God, you really did it. I mean, think about it. He turned water into wine, calmed storms, raised the dead. Don't you think he can handle your situation too? Yeah, he can. So if you're watching this or reading this and you feel like giving up, please don't. You're closer to your miracle than you think. It might just be one prayer away, one act of faith away, one sunrise away. God's writing your story in. He's not done yet. Just wait and watch what he does. You'll see. And maybe when it happens, you'll laugh a little, or cry, or just sit in silence, realizing how deeply loved you really are. Because that's the truth, God hasn't forgotten you. He's been right there the whole time. So keep believing, keep waiting, keep trusting that something good, something beautiful, something divine's already on its way to you. And when it arrives, it'll make sense. Every pain, every delay, all makes sense. Maybe that's what faith really is. Not seeing, but still believing that God's about to do something amazing. If this touched your heart, just type amen. Not for me, but as a sign that you're still believing, that you're still holding on. God hope. And if you need this reminder again, or just come back to read it when your heart feels heavy, because honestly, sometimes we all need to hear it again. A miracle is coming your way. Just wait and watch what God does. Amen. You know, sometimes we talk about miracles like they're these faraway things, like something that happens to other people. Someone else gets the healing. Someone else gets the breakthrough. Someone else's prayer gets answered. And we start to quietly think, maybe God just skips me. But no, that's not true. I mean, I used to think like that too. I'd look around, see people moving forward, getting blessed, smiling like they have everything figured out, and I'd sit there wondering, God, did you forget my name? It's strange, isn't it? How silence can be so loud, how waiting can feel endless. But here's what I've learned. Sometimes, God hides the miracle inside the waiting. Like, think about it. Seeds grow underground, completely unseen. You can water it for weeks and see nothing. And you start doubting, thinking maybe nothing's happening. But down there, roots are forming. Life is pushing through the soil, quietly preparing to break the surface. That's how miracles often work. You can't see it yet, but it's growing. And I feel like maybe someone needs to hear that right now. Your prayer wasn't ignored. Your time isn't wasted. Something's growing under the surface of your life. God's timing, it's just different. He's not in a hurry, but he's never too late. Sometimes, he delays things because he's protecting you from something you can't see. Sometimes he's shaping you, preparing your heart so that when the miracle does come, you can actually handle it. I'll be honest, there were moments in my life when I thought I was ready for the blessing I was praying for. But looking back, I wasn't. I needed that waiting season. I needed to learn patience, trust, humility. You ever notice that when things fall apart, that's when you start praying harder? That's when you actually slow down enough to hear God's whisper. It's like he allows us to reach the end of ourselves, so we'll finally look up. And when you finally do, something shifts. Blessing today. It's not instant, but you start feeling that quiet peace. You start noticing little things, like the way sunlight hits your window in the morning, or how the air feels softer when you pray. It's like God starts showing up in the small details first. And then, little by little, things start changing. You'll get that unexpected message. That one yes, after so many no's. That tiny open door that suddenly turns into a path. And when it happens, you'll know it wasn't random. You'll know God's hand was on it the whole time. You'll think back to those nights when you cried and said, I can't do this anymore. And realize that's exactly when heaven started moving for you. It's like, while you were breaking, God was building something new. Sometimes the miracle isn't that the storm stops. It's that you find peace in the storm. Sometimes the miracle isn't getting what you wanted. It's realizing God was what you needed all along. And maybe that's what he's doing right now, teaching you that he's enough. Even if nothing changes today, even if it still hurts, even if the road feels long, he's still working. You know, there's this verse in Isaiah that says, those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. I used to think that meant just sitting still, waiting passively. But no, it means trusting in the waiting. It means believing that something good is coming, even when you don't see it yet. And that kind of faith, it moves mountains. Because, see, God responds to faith, not fear. He responds to trust, not panic. So when you choose to believe, really believe that he's working, even when you can't see it, that's when miracles start to unfold. Not always big and flashy. Sometimes quiet, personal, sacred. Like one morning, you'll just wake up and realize the pain that used to crush you doesn't feel so heavy anymore, or the anxiety that used to shake you suddenly feels smaller. Or someone will tell you, hey, I've been praying for you, and you'll realize God's been surrounding you with love the whole time. God, message for me today. Those are miracles too. It's not always about parting seas or fire from heaven. The miracle is a changed heart, a renewed hope, a second chance. And maybe that's your miracle right now. The fact that you're still here, still believing, still standing. If you think about it, surviving what you thought would break you, that's a miracle too. So, please don't stop believing, don't stop praying, don't stop hoping. Type amen, because one day soon, you'll look back and say, wow, that's why God made me wait. you'll see the puzzle pieces fit together perfectly. The people who left, the opportunities that fell through, the delays that frustrated you, they all made room for what was meant for you. And that moment, it's going to be beautiful. You'll feel it deep in your soul. So right now, just take a deep breath. Let go of the panic. Tell yourself, God's got this. Because He does. He's never failed, not once. And He's not about to start now. Your story isn't over, it's just in the middle of a miracle you can't see yet. So wait, watch, trust. Because what's coming next is worth every tear, every delay, every prayer. And when it happens, don't forget to thank Him not just for the miracle, but for the strength it took to wait for it. Please like this video, because that strength, that faith, that's what carried you through. And maybe one day, you'll tell your story and someone else will say, because of you, I didn't give up. That's how miracles multiply, one faith story at a time. So yeah, a miracle is coming your way. Just hold on a little longer. And when it happens, don't be surprised. Just smile, look up, and whisper, I knew you'd come through, God. If you felt this, just type amen. Not because it's a trend, but because maybe, deep down, your spirit already knows. The miracle is closer than you think. And when it comes, trust me, it will be worth every second of the wait. Amen.